It's time to say goodbye to April and say hello to the month of May. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my monthly planning for the month of May 2023. If you are new here, my name is Ciara. I'm a final year PhD student based in Dublin, Ireland. I also work as a lecturer in data analytics and machine learning, and I run a business which is a speech and drama school based here in Ireland. And then I do this social media thing whenever I can. So I require a lot of planning in order to manage the chaos of my life, which I have kind of realized recently is not something that everyone does. And at the end of the day, when it comes to planning, a lot of the reason why it's essential for me is because I feel very stressed with all of the things that I have going on, and planning helps me to feel more calm going into the next month. So I will share with you what I have done for the month. I also will share with you a little reflection on the month of April and some goals for the month of May. So I am finally setting goals again and feeling good about that. A lot of the goals I have are about looking after myself in this busy time, and I have some PhD goals as well. So firstly, my reflection on April. I always think it's good to look back on the previous month and see how things were, what went well, what didn't go well. I started off with thinking about what things went well because I'm quite aware of all of the things that didn't go very well. And what I found was that I actually managed to have a pretty nice sociable month in April. So looking back on the month, there was a couple of long weekends where I did manage to take some time for myself. So over the Easter weekend, I did take a couple of days off, which was nice. And me and Jack spent one of the days out at brunch in this place that we really like, that we wouldn't often get to go to because we don't have any days off in common, and especially not at the weekend. Usually I'm working on Saturdays and he's working on Sundays, so we don't really usually get to do that. I also met up with one of my friends for kind of coffee and a meetup on Easter Sunday, and I also spent time with my family on Easter Sunday as well. So that was a really nice weekend, and because the drama school was closed for 2 weeks over that time, I got a bit of a break there, which was really, really nice and very much needed. A nice way to kind of start the month. The following weekend then, I actually took an acting class, which was an improv kind of comedy class, and this was the first class that I've taken in at least 10 years, I would say, since I finished my own studies when I was in secondary school. So it was really nice to be on the other side of things because I do teach drama classes, but it's hard to keep up your own performance without taking classes or being part of an ensemble. And it was just really nice, and I've booked myself in for some more classes in May and June as well that I'm really looking forward to. We had my partner's birthday in April, so he turned 30. We had a night out with his friends where we went to Bingo Loco, which, if you don't know, it's like bingo also with a club, basically, like bingo and drinks and stuff like that, which was fun, but it came off the back of a really, really busy week, which meant I definitely had more drinks than I would have liked to, and then was feeling really, really stressed the next day, which is not ideal. Then I did just get to spend a good bit of time with my family. I saw my dad this week for dinner with my sister as well. Me and my sister have gone to yoga a couple of times together. I did some wedding prep with my mom. And then this weekend, which you'll see this video on, I'm actually going to be in London with my mom and my sister. So overall, very sociable month, which is unexpected given that it has been quite a busy period. I finished up lecturing last week, so that first term, which was really, really busy, finished up. And I've been trying to kind of settle into a couple of weeks of lower workload, and definitely struggling a little bit with that over these couple of weeks because once I have the time to do the things I want to do, sometimes I then struggle to do them. So it's just been a bit of an adjustment period this week, so I'm hoping the next 2 weeks that I have off will go a little bit more smoothly. In terms of what didn't go well, I think it's more the build up from the last couple of months of just doing way too much lecturing has definitely caused me to suffer in lots of ways. And I'm looking forward to next term where I have far fewer hours. One other thing from the April reflection is that I was working on a project for my PhD, just kind of like a last project that I wanted to do because I wanted to submit a paper to ICCBR, which is a conference that I've been at every year since I started my PhD. And the results just did not work out. So that was a big letdown in the month. I was really hoping to get that paper together because I had been working on the results for like 6 or 8 weeks before that, and it just didn't work out. And this is the first project really that I've had that just hasn't worked out in my whole PhD. So I think now's as good a time as ever for something like that to happen, and basically I've just abandoned that project because it really wasn't essential to my PhD. It was just kind of a nice to have. That's pretty much it for my reflection on April. I think it's just about looking back on kind of the highlights of the month and what I really liked from the month, and then seeing is there any way I can get more of that going forward. Now on to goal setting. So I can take from that, you know, what went well and what I still need to work on. I can now think about some goals for the month of May. I think for the goals this month with my PhD, it's now time to really just think about the thesis. I had previously written a couple of chapters, and this past week I reviewed those chapters and sent them to my supervisors. And now for the month of May, my plan is to work on my 3 chapters that are based on prediction. So I have predicting marathon time based on training, predicting training disruptions based on training, and then recommending training that is trying to reach a certain marathon time while trying to avoid disruptions as well. So those 3 chapters, I have all of the work done for them in a sense. They've all been presented at different conferences, and now it'll be about pulling them together into the actual final chapters. So I have the 5 weeks of May, since May is a 5-week month in my head, that I can work on those chapters and get them then to my supervisors for a read. So my goal for May for my PhD is to work on each of those chapters, so technically 3 goals. Then in the business, so in the drama school, this is just a survival month for the business because we have a competition on the 2nd week of May, and then the final week of May we have the speech and drama exams as well as the final performances for all of the classes. So it's just going to be about getting through all of those. The main things that I need to do will be send reminders about all of these things and be physically present at these things as well. And then the last thing that I want to do is arrange some end of term party for the staff to say thank you for the year. In my brand, I need to revive this brand seriously. I need to just get on it more. So I'm hoping to book 1 sponsor for the month of May, which will supplement my income as I've gone into lower lecturing hours. And then I really want to start doing 2 videos a week and 5 Instagram posts a week. And I do think that is achievable. I just really need to do it. I think because this term I'm a bit more organised in terms of lecturing hours, that it fits into the week and it won't be running into my Sundays. I can use my Sundays for myself and then also for my brand as well. In my lecturing then, I don't really have too many goals. I want to do the dissertation grading for the current students that I have and just finish off their dissertations strong. I want to get all of the content up for one module that I previously have run, so just get all the content up and ready so I don't have to worry about that each week. And then I want to do the same for another module that I'm running, so get all of the content up for a separate module. In my personal goals then, one thing that I have been doing quite a lot in the recent months when I've been really busy is just spending loads of money. Mainly on things like just stopping into the shops or getting extra like protein balls and stuff when I'm getting my coffee, and I want to cut back on that. So I want to just make a budget and have a bit of a lower spend month because I have a couple of big holidays coming up in July and September that I just want to have more money set aside for. And just because my income is going up a lot doesn't mean my spending should be also. Then I'd like to plan a trip to Galway. I'm hoping that I'll get down early enough in June. It's not looking like May is going to be a time that I can get down, and I haven't been down since I think early March, so I would really like to get down to Galway to see my dad and my stepmom sometime soon. And then finally I want to implement self-care Sundays. So that will be trying my best not to do any work on Sundays. The only thing that I would maybe do would be editing videos and social media work, and that is always for me fun, and I don't want to do any work outside of that. Whereas in recent months it's been drama school work, it's been lecturing work, it's been PhD work a lot of the time on Sundays, and I need to just have a day where I'm not doing any work. So that is my goal. The next thing then that I did was planning for the month. So typically I will keep a calendar which will contain my calendar events, so that will be anything that has set hours, so all of my lecturing hours, the hours that I'm teaching for the drama school, any meetings that I have, any appointments that I have, any deadlines, all of that goes into my calendar. In my Notion calendar, what I do is I also kind of add in time where I'd like to do certain things. So in my main Google Calendar, I don't have like time blocked schedule, but I do this in my Notion. So I start off by putting in all of the essentials, any specific booked in things, and I have done that. And then I've also added time to work on my PhD. So I have a lot more time to work on my PhD this month than I have had in previous months. Each week I have at least 4, if not 5, 4-hour blocks in the Monday to Friday work week that I can work on my PhD, which I think will be amazing for thesis work. I also have my lecturing hours in there, and I have some extra time in the work week for lecturing work, which will be any admin or any meetings that I might need to have with dissertation students, and then potentially time for grading as well. In the first 2 weeks of May, I don't have any set lecturing hours, so I'll just be using that lecturing time for grading responsibilities from the previous term. The calendar that I have here in Notion is one that I've made myself. I'm still working out some kind of kinks to it, but I would like to append this kind of package of these calendar layouts, like for the monthly overview, to the Notion template. So I will send an update when that is available. You'll see it probably in my next video that I have that ready. But you can basically see that the first week of the month I have pretty much some time each morning for PhD work, and then some time in the afternoon for lecturing work, and then some time in the evenings for some acting based work. So the Tuesday-Wednesday time is actual work for the theatre school, whereas on Thursdays that's my own personal class. Monday evenings is the time that I will typically spend on yoga. And then Friday and Saturday evenings is the time that I spend with my partner or doing social fun things. The second week is a little bit different because I have competitions on for the theatre school, so we're losing a little bit of PhD time, mainly on the Thursday, Friday, because those are full day, whereas Monday, Wednesday are not really too affected. So that'll be a slightly lower week for PhD work. Third week of May then, we're back to lecturing. And then I have PhD work as well, so the timetable kind of changes because I have more so time in the afternoon for PhD work and time in the morning for lecturing work. It kind of depends a little bit day to day. And the same thing the following week. Then the final week I have the exams and competitions, so basically I'm not going to get any PhD work done that week. So pretty much it's going to be trying to get those 3 chapters ironed out in the first 4 weeks of the month. I'm not expecting them to be perfect by that stage. I have already worked on one of the chapters before, so I'm pretty sure I just need to edit that one. And the other 2, one of them will need a little bit more work than the others, but what will likely happen is that it will end up actually being a section of another chapter. So I'm not sure how much work it really needs. And then the final one, we've just submitted the paper, or we've just gotten the paper accepted, so I don't think it's going to take as much time to work on. Anyways, that is my planning for the month of May and the goals that I have and the things I'm looking forward to in the month as well. I don't really have any particular kind of things booked in, so the last thing that I just want to think about is what can I do to make my weekends really nice in this time. On the 13th of May I have an acting workshop that I'm really excited about, and I think the first week of May I'm going to book in a massage on the Sunday because I have a voucher that Jack got me for my birthday in December that I still haven't used. And then I'm going to try and do some kind of like nice meal out with Jack or with friends on the weekends, and also some kind of self-care activity on the Sunday to really kind of make my week feel really nice. I also have the mornings now set aside, so before 9 a.m. no work occurs, and that is definitely a new thing this month because the last couple of months I have been so overworked that I've been getting up early to do more work before 9 a.m. whereas now no work before 9 a.m. and I want to say no work after 6 p.m. typically, but on Tuesdays and Wednesdays I will work till 8 and half 8, so that is kind of unavoidable. But other than that, I will say work only between 9 and 6, which is a new thing for me, so trying to focus more on that self-care. Anyways, I hope this video was beneficial in some way. If you are doing any monthly planning or goal setting for the month of May, then let me know what your goals are in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.